Good morning, Your Holiness. I'm Akshat Gupta from Bluebell School. It's an honor and privilege to meet you, sir. I'd like to ask you a question. Listening to you talking so inspiringly about ethics and compassion has made me think about the various categories of people who are treated in the most unethical and uncompassionate way by our society, such as those people who are considered lowly, subordinate, and especially women. I feel that among the other factors, religion has a huge role to play in the way which mentalities towards people are structured. Sir, could you please tell me about the Buddha's attitude towards women? Where do the women find themselves in the Buddhist faith?
디 댄츠키트. 그 다른 거 댄츠키는 거지.
주루당 근데
Of course, no question, various major different religious tradition. I always put at major because some primitive religions, that's something different. Just worship something, even worship sun or moon. These are not much philosophical background. So I always mentioning major religious tradition. That's those religion with certain philosophical explanation or certain sort of concept. So all major religious tradition have very, very important role regarding promotion of inner values. Use different philosophical views, that means different methods. However, now crisis facing by humanity, 7 billion human beings. Out of 7 billion, over 1 billion human being non-believer. So, the existing various different religious tradition cannot sort of reach these non-believer. And firstly, non-believer, the number also quite big, over 1 billion. And then secondly, over 1 billion human being, they also human being. They deserve happy life. So therefore, we need a method to reach non-believers. Then again, frankly speaking, among the believer, there are quite a number of corrupted believers, isn't it? I think among Hindu gurus or Buddhist gurus and also Christianity, Islam, Judaism, I think everywhere, some corrupted religious believer. And also, I think some, among even some the leaders, also some corrupted there. So religion then use method to exploit mainly money and also sometimes sex. So, obviously, existing religious faith not adequate to bring firm conviction about moral ethics. So, we need systematic education to teach, to educate people. Moral ethics are basis of one's own happy life and physical health. Then sometimes I call hygiene of physical include our education. Now we need hygiene of emotion should include. So therefore, now we need the way of approach about this moral ethics, not necessarily based on religious faith, but that again India's tradition, secular. India, multi-religious nation. So India's constitution based on secularism. So according to Indian understanding, secularism means respect all religions and also respect non-believer. That's very relevant to today's world. In the West, you see, they are sort of understanding about secular is something disrespect to religion. That also, you see, I think it's possible because the French Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, you see, there's some tendency against religion. If we go detail or deeper level or thorough investigation, then any human being, how can against the practice of love, practice of compassion, if someone totally against compassion, then we have to against our mother. Isn't it? I think 7 million human beings. In the past also, I think through centuries, I think no person against mother's affection. So real message of religion is practice of love, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, simplicity, contentment. So no thinking person cannot against real religions. But the religious institution during French Revolution or Bolshevik Revolution, religious institution, firstly, they themselves corrupted. And mostly, I think most important, the religious institution supporting elite exploiter. So revolutionary people, you say, have to fight that institution. So it creates impression because of that. They against religion. I often, you see, feel and also telling some people that when I was in Peking in 1954, 55, I had sort of several meetings with Chairman Mao Zedong. I really admire him. Oh, great revolutionary, great one. One occasion he praised Buddha. He considered Buddha Shakyamuni was revolutionary because at that time caste system is something quite serious. So Buddha against that. So he considered Buddha revolutionary. Then one occasion he mentioned religion is opium. So then I feel he do not understand what is the real meaning of religion. If Chairman Mao Zedong knows real meaning of religion is practice of love, compassion, or sense of concern of others' well-being, then how can like Chairman Mao Zedong against that? The very motivation carry revolution is out of concern of poor people's well-being. This case is particularly working class people's well-being. Clear? So therefore, I think firstly, various different religious traditions have very sort of a great potential to promote these inner value. At the same time, there are non-believers, many non-believers, so we have to find a method to reach these non-believers. And also among the believer also, you see, the clear sign, lack of firm conviction from within. So I fully committed. Wherever I talk, I give talk, I always is talking or mentioning the secular ethics. Secular, as I mentioned earlier, is not at all negative towards religion, but respect all religion. One thing. Now here, in different religious tradition, sometimes little bits of discrimination, male and female. Now that I think we should read. We should read. You see, any religion, there are, I think, two aspects or three aspects. One aspect, religion. Religion. I mean, faith, the very purpose of faith is cultivate compassion, respect others. For example, the concept of creator, really very helpful. You see, to bring sort of closeness. The entire creature of creator is actually brothers, sisters. So the method, and then single-pointed faith towards God, towards Creator. Creator, infinite love. So more closer feeling with Creator, so you have more willingness to follow. Then those Indian tradition, again now, Sangha philosophy, the Jain philosophy, and Buddhist philosophy, no concept of creator, but rather self-creation. You see, their sort of basic sort of philosophical view is law of causality. So, after all, you see, we ourselves, you see, create our world, our life. Not only this life, but life after life. Go that way. So that also very powerful to bring conviction about moral principle. If you help other, you get benefit. If you harm other, you get negative consequences. So different method, but bring same goal, compassionate person. Clear. That is religious aspect. Now philosophical aspect, as I mentioned earlier, some say there's creator, some say no creator. I think in the eyes of the believer of creator, then we Buddhists are non-believer, and I think very sinful. I heard, you see, some American, the more orthodox religious thinking. I heard someone express now since Dalai Lama quite often come to America, so now number of American now leading to hell. It's understandable. It's understandable, yes. From the perspective from the non-theistic religion, then theistic religion is Tondo Logda. There are two kinds of
two kinds of wrong views that we talk about. One is an exaggerated way of looking at things, and then the other is denying existence and the truth.
A lot of discussions in ancient Indian Buddhist literature. A lot of discussions. So these are, so you see, in philosophical field, big differences, even within Buddhist tradition. The Vaibhashik tradition, school of thought, and Sautantic school of thought, Chitta Mantra school of thought, then Madhyamaka school of thought. Big differences, a lot of argument, a lot of debate. These are very, very sort of useful. More sort of different argument, really immense help to open our mind and increase the ability of investigation. Just you blindly accept whatever you heard, believe, then no further develop your mind. So debate with different views are very, very essential for development of human sharp mind. Clear? So then third aspect is cultural aspect, I feel. So then in the society, I usually say telling people, I think a few 100,000 years ago, when we human beings, you see, began to develop, there's no concept of leadership. Everybody equal. Perhaps I think mother may become the superior and to look after their children or like that. Then gradually population increased and the farming system also start. Then the emotion or concept of mind increase. So then some mischievous people or some criminal or mischievous sort of activities happen. Then the concept of leadership come. At that time, no rule of education. So in order to become leadership, only physical sort of strength. So male dominance then come. So then those ancient religious tradition, at the religious tradition you see start the existing cultural heritage in the society, male dominance there. So some impact in religious tradition, cultural aspect. I felt, it seems to me like you see Islam in Kazakhstan, mainly in Arab area, start from Mecca, this area. So the society more nomad sort of type. So perhaps I think more sort of the crimes or these things. So the Quran also you see mentioned Sharia sort of law. Because of the existing sort of society, a lot of sort of crimes, these things. So particularly emphasis on that. Then also in this India, this country, I think during Buddha and Mahavira come, there are the practice of also animal sacrifice. Immense sort of number sacrifice, cows and other sort of. So because of that kind of sort of society, that kind of thing, so Buddha and the Mahavira particularly emphasis, don't kill animal. And vegetarianism, I think particularly you see there, because of the emphasis, because of the circumstances. So now Buddhism, basically Buddha give equal right, men and women. So bhikshu vow, bhikshuni vow, equal. However, when monks and nuns together, then monk should first, then nun next. I think at that time, the society, if Buddha put equal, one bhikshu, one bhikshuni, one bhikshu, bhikshuni like that, I think society may not feel sort acceptable or may not feel some strange, maybe. So meantime, at Bodhisattva Yana, especially sort of emphasis, equal. And then also Tantrayana, some special emphasis, male should not look down female. Particularly to mention that. So basically, equal, very clear. But some aspect of practice, because the society is sort of the culture or habit, some sort of influence. So now you understand now. Religious part, all major religious traditions, same. Philosophical part, big differences. It's just a method. When we see differences, some say creator, some say no creator. Some say rebirth, some say no rebirth. There's a big differences, but doesn't matter. All, you see, the same goal, promoting human compassion. Okay. Then third aspect, cultural aspect. Now actually the coming September, we are going to have national level, all major religious leaders or representatives together in Delhi, some discussions. So I'm going to sort of appeal or suggestion the cultural aspect, the society sort of because of the culture or habit changing. Now, for example, a feudal system, no longer. Maybe some remote area, I think still practice feudal, isn't it? Some Bihar or some other, in some remote area, isn't it? So these now, of course, through education, eventually, you see, will change. So therefore, I think the Quran, some points about how to deal with Kasajoti, slaves. So these are the existing sort of society, Kasota.
Norms. Existing norms.
Norms like that. So that aspect, now caste system and the dowry, these, I think, now time come to think seriously, and religious leader should speak. Now time change, this must change. Clear? This does not mean changing your faith. No. Actually serving your faith. Now next question.
Good morning,
Okay.
Your Holiness. Good morning. My question for you is, my name is Manat Mehta. I'm from Pathways World School. And my question for you is, keeping in mind that my generation is going to shape the future, how do you envision the future of the world in the next few decades?
As I mentioned earlier, firstly, I think now lot of global issue, including global warming, and also the drinking water, some problem now, and then human population today 7 billion. End of this century will reach 10 billions. I think India today about 1 billion. The end of this century maybe, I think, I don't know. If maximum, maybe 1.5 billion. I don't know. Then difficult. Lot of problems. And the natural resources also, you see, become difficulties. And meantime, the gap, rich and poor, serious matter. Global level, huge gap. At the national level, also huge gap. In Delhi itself, some people with luxurious sort of house or life. Meantime, same street, slums and street children. We cannot ignore these things. So, therefore, as far as socio-economic theory is concerned, I am Marxist. Because I very much attracted the Marxist economy, much emphasis, equal distribution, not just think profit. Meantime, I totally against Leninism. Lenin, too much authoritarian system. So, human society, the development of the society, for that, individual's creativity is very, very essential. Former Soviet Union, everything centralized, and China also centralized. So, economic development and also some sort of, the scientific research, all feel some sort of stagnation. So then finally, Deng Xiaoping, you see, compared to liberalize the socialist country, follow capitalism. So therefore, now the way reduce this gap does not mean richer people should be poor. No. The poorer section of people's living standard must sort of raise. So natural resources also is questionable. So therefore, in the terms of global level, it's very, very important. We need sense of oneness of humanity. Their problem is our problem. Our success is their success. So everything, you see, interrelated, interdependency. So we need, now like Indian, should think, firstly, of course, your own nation, but meantime, think about global level. That's very, very important. I think great thinker of India, ancient India, like Buddha, always say, entire sentient being. So therefore, the vision for global level is very important. Then, one sort of particular vision, the young people, gradually, this century should be century of dialogue. Past century, century of violence. Now, this century now should be century of dialogue. That means problem, different interest, disagreement, always there. So the method to solve that through dialogue, through talk, not use weapon. So once we cultivate younger generation, new generation mind, whenever we see some potential of conflict, then dialogue, how to solve this through dialogue, never thinking how to use weapon. That we must sort of cultivate in our mind. Clear? So therefore, they no longer useful weapon or military forces. One time I heard one German professor mentioned, now according to the new reality, no need defense ministry or foreign ministry. must deal with other nation as a domestic. So foreign ministry means something different. Foreigner, we. And the hypocrisy and the cheating. Sometimes you see the diplomats or leaders met, big smile, but in deep inside, full of suspicion. So this kind of thing, I think eventually she should remove. Men, women, same, talk. So therefore, I think one of our vision should be demilitarized world, if possible. Meantime, some mischievous people always possible. Therefore, some mobile survey,
Not force.
mobile force, small number, well equipped, some trouble area, some troublemaker, start some problem, go there. And that also, I think, the Franco-German unified force, I heard is such unified force. That's the best guarantee. No longer any conflict between these two nations, because unified force. So eventually, I think a whole European Union, I think a unified force. Then also America, South America, North America, Canada, unified force. Then eventually India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, unified. Then eventually unified force with China. Then no longer any danger. It's possible. And Chinese people do not want suffering, don't want war. People level, no. Indian people do not want war. And Pakistanis also do not want to kill. So I think step by step, you see, we can firstly, I think, a unified force, then eventually demilitarize. Then I think, and then in the West, and some time back, I also mentioned or expressed in Japan. At that time, Japanese economy, you see, each year, every year, you see, increasing. So at that time, I told, there is no guarantee your economic development go this way. One day you will reach some stage. Therefore, it is better to prepare mentally this limitation. So after a few years, exactly it happened. So I heard some Japanese companies, sort of leader, even suicide, mentally not prepared. So I think in America, I often is telling their lifestyle, and particularly those millionaires' lifestyle, must change. I think India also, you see, sometimes you see those richer family, I think the 3 rings, 3 fingers, or sometimes one finger, 2 rings. What use? And a lot of sort of kasata,
Ornaments, necklaces, ornaments,
jewelries.
jewelries.
Just yesterday I saw kasa, the newspaper in front of the page. Kasa mentioned
Advertisement.
kasa chiktu. Now Delhi, kasa, sikh kasa. Have you seen I think one newspaper you see mentioned Delhi will have one luxury sort of luxury jewelries, new kasa, shop.
Mall.
Have you seen? When I saw that, waste of money. If all billion Indian have that kind of thing, then okay. while millions of Indian people remain poor, and in some cases poverty, then these are, I think, morally not fair. Isn't it? And then you see, I often telling or expressing in the West, you see, billionaires also same size of stomach and also limited fingers. If 100 fingers, then yes, those billionaire 100 fingers, so 100 rings, okay. But only 10 finger, isn't it? And the stomach size also same. So better simplicity, adequate food, and not too much drink. And then even health also better. In America and Europe, I think the problem of overweight, some young girls, young boys, like that. I think they are very much worried concerned that. Who create that? Themselves. Too much drink, too much eat. One time in Harvard University, I give some sort of lecture, few days. So at that time, you see, the car arranged by the organizer. Nowadays, the government arranged. So one driver, one gentleman, huge body. You see, he always tired because of overweight. Then drive some distance, I notice he always eating something. So his overweight problem is his own creation. There too much drink, liver problem. Too much smoke, lung problem. Isn't it? So, they use common sense. I think lifestyle, more simplicity and adequate nourishment. And that's much better. Much better. So these things much depend on education and thinking. You young people should not feel, or someone, some jewelry, and you should not feel, oh, I also want that kind of jewelry. Don't think that way. And that also is, I usually say, teasing young women or young sort of girls. The inner beauty is more important than external beauty. Here you see no one. You see some cosmetic. Rare.
No.
So you see, sometimes some women, you see a lot of sort of, how say, makeup. Their eyes also is some different color. It looks terrible, not necessarily beautiful, but you should spend a lot of things. But the real beauty is here. See, inner beauty there, then marriage will remain long-lasting marriage. Without inner beauty, just external beauty, at a few days love or fun, then after a few days quarrel start. Isn't it? So that's usually I telling you, people like that. So actually the vision, this century should be a century of dialogue. Then eventually world should be demilitarized. That also step by step. Next question.
Good morning, Your Holiness. I am Priyal Babna from Bluebell School International. You have and you're continuing to inspire a lot of people, especially the young, the youth. But what is that has kept you so determined, that has influenced you to be so determined? Also, Your Holiness, everybody has a low point in their life. Have you ever felt lonely or being defied by God or anybody, the people around you? If yes, Your Holiness, then how have you decided to face such a circumstance?
Persa, lonely. I always say, of course, when I was young, in Potala, in the name of Dalai Lama, a little bit isolated. So particularly, I still remember, particularly during winter in Potala, Potala, there's not much of a place to run or to play. And particularly with water, Potala, no opportunity, no possible that. So during winter time, according to our tradition, you see, Dalai Lama remain in Potala. Then, about few weeks sort of retreat with my tutor. So then sometimes, and particularly the afternoon session or retreat, the sun go there, and the shadow, you see, because of increasing. My tutor there, one senior tutor, actually regent, usually is no smile. And then I also, you see, have to remain like that. Then I really boring. One sort of short moment is some sort of excitement is the water ball
No.
thing,
Offering down.
offering water. That room, very ancient room, some mice there. So you see some mice used to come and sipping water. Hey, their face really very, very sort of alert, very beautiful. So that's one short moment to feel happy. Otherwise, it's really boring. And then, you see, occasionally, because of hurt, some local boys and girls, daytime, they, with their animal, go pasture, pasture, and afternoon, then returning. So, when they're returning, they singing, because of folk songs, folk songs, sing. Then sometimes I felt, oh, I much happier, one of them, much happier. Then Dalai Lama in the room, cold, dark room with serious tutor. Then gradually, you see, I use my common sense. You see, with this sort of name, I can serve more people. Then gradually, my serious practice about altruism. Then, mentally, I always feel I'm one of the 7 billion human beings. Whenever I meet people, just human beings, our brothers, sisters, no differences, emotionally, mentally, physically, so no differences, no distance. So I never felt loneliness. No problem. If I have too much stress, I'm Dalai Lama. I'm a special person. Then loneliness comes. You yourself make distance from other. You are something special. Then talk. You must be very, very careful. Each word, or smile, or face. I don't care. When I met people, I just, you see, I'm talking another human being. It's the same emotion, same problem in emotion. Then, you see, no barrier. So there is no basis of loneliness feeling. Clear? I think loneliness is actually because of mental creation.
No.
Mental projection.
Mental creations.
Mental creation. Like that. So if you too much self-centered attitude, then loneliness comes. Open. You just one of the human being. Then no basis of loneliness.